Your old life is over. Every relationship, every job, every version of yourself that you've carefully built and performed for years, it can no longer hold your energy. And the undeniable proof, you're watching this video right now. This isn't burnout. It isn't a series of unlucky events. It isn't failure. What you are experiencing is a quantum phenomenon called a frequency incompatibility event. It is the moment your consciousness has expanded so far that your old reality cannot contain it. The container shatters because you are simply too vast for it. Over the next 55 minutes, I will reveal the science behind why your life had to end, show you the 3 unmistakable death markers proving your old identity is dissolving, give you the exact protocol to navigate this transition without panic, resistance, or self-sabotage. This is not mystical fluff. This is quantum biology and identity phase transition science, the same forces driving the most radical transformations in nature. Every organism must dissolve one form before another can emerge. You are not breaking down, you are a caterpillar entering the chrysalis. Your old rules no longer apply. That ghostly feeling inside, the sense of watching your life instead of living it, that is the mourning of a version of you that is already gone. And yes, that self is dying. This is normal, necessary, life-altering. The confusion, the grief, the fear that you are losing your mind, they are signs that you are entering a higher state of order. Let's understand what's happening to you on a tangible level. Your system has detected a frequency shift. You can no longer tolerate the compromises, the subtle lies, the old relationships, or the identity you once relied on. Your consciousness is now vibrating at a new energetic frequency, one that your old life cannot support. Imagine your old life as a radio station broadcasting at 98.7 FM. For years, maybe decades, your personal receiver was perfectly tuned. Every song, every beat, every static hiss, it was home. You knew it intimately. But recently, without your conscious consent, your internal receiver began to recalibrate. Your energy, your consciousness, your very being started broadcasting at 107.5 FM. When you try to tune into the old station, all you get is distortion, static, faint echoes, empty spaces where the music used to be. The old station hasn't disappeared. It's still broadcasting. You simply outgrew it. You are no longer compatible with its signal. Your career, your social circle, your identity, nothing is broken. It is all dissolving under the pressure of your own expansion, like a high-frequency sound wave shattering glass. The fear you feel, that terror is simply listening to static and thinking the music is gone forever. The anxiety is your reflexive attempt to retune to a frequency that can no longer support your consciousness. Here's the relief. You don't need to fix it. You simply need to tune fully into the new station already broadcasting the next chapter of your life. That feeling of clarity you are starting to sense, that is your system recognizing the truth of its own condition. But relief alone is not enough. To navigate what comes next, you need a map, a complete understanding of the demolition process your identity is undergoing. And for that, we turn to one of nature's most radical transformations, the chrysalis. Let's be honest, the caterpillar story you've heard is gentle compared to reality. The caterpillar does not sprout wings gracefully. It digests itself from the inside out. Enzymes liquefy its organs, muscles, and structure, turning it into a nutrient-rich, protein-heavy soup. Almost nothing of the caterpillar remains. This is not poetry, it is biology. And this is exactly where you are. The panic, the confusion, the sense that your entire personality is dissolving into an unrecognizable mess, that's the soup phase. You are not failing. You are being systematically broken down by your own higher consciousness because the form you inhabited can no longer sustain the frequency of your future self. Resistance is futile. Every urge to call your ex, apply for the same type of job, or hold on to old friendships is your ego fighting its own evolution. The old structure is chemically, energetically and spiritually slated for demolition. Trying to rebuild it is like trying to reconstruct a caterpillar leg inside a vat of digestive enzymes. This leads to the paradigm shift. The question is no longer, how do I save my old life? That was the caterpillar's question. The new question is, how do I surrender to the intelligence orchestrating my death so that my rebirth can be complete and precise? Think back 6 months. Would you recognize that person today? Would you even like them? That disconnect isn't loss, it is liberation. Here is the ultimate truth. You are not the caterpillar. You are not the biological soup. You are the chrysalis. You are the intelligent, sacred container holding both death and birth simultaneously. Your consciousness, the silent witness, remains untouched. It is expanding, observing, holding space for the next form. This changes everything. You are no longer in danger. Your ego costume, the identity, the habits, the stories you clung to is dissolving. But the real you, the one listening to these words right now, is eternally safe. You are not the actor leaving the stage. You are the director watching the final bow of a beloved character to make room for the new protagonist. You are not the sinking ship. You are the ocean itself. Your new role is radical observation. You do not try to patch the old structure. You witness its disintegration. You document it. You study it like a scientist observing a chemical reaction in progress. When grief rises, don't flee, sit with it. Study its texture. Recognize it not as a threat, but as the fertile ground for creation. This is the essence of the chrysalis phase. You are the sacred space between worlds, the container in which your next self is taking shape. Now let's make this real. How do you know you're truly in the chrysalis in active identity dissolution? There are 3 unmistakable death markers that prove it. Stop seeing them as problems. They are not symptoms to fix. They are coordinates on the map of your transformation. 1. The phantom life. You still show up in the world of your old self. You go to the job, fulfill obligations, participate in relationships. From the outside, nothing seems different. But inside, you feel like a ghost. You are no longer the main character of your own story. You are watching from the audience. This isn't dissociation in the clinical sense. It's far more profound. Your consciousness has already partially migrated to a new frequency. Your old self is like a vacant house, and you are just the caretaker, making sure the lights stay on one last time. You might feel guilty for faking it. You are performing a character who is already gone. 2. Immunity to old triggers. The things that once provoked anger, fear, shame, or panic, critical emails, passive-aggressive comments, unexpected bills, now barely affect you. The reaction that used to feel explosive is now a dull thud. You observe, you recognize, but the emotional charge is gone. This is not numbness. It's not depression. It's energetic evolution. Your system has changed so dramatically that the old triggers cannot find a receptor. The person who was programmed to react is dying. The old shocks no longer work. 3. The strange mourning. This is the most subtle marker. You feel grief, but you cannot name the loss. Moments arise, alone, driving, or before sleep, when a deep sadness washes over you. Nothing happened that day to trigger it. Your life may look stable on paper, yet your soul feels the death of an identity that has completed its journey. This grief is sacred. It is the funeral of your old self. It is not about wanting the old you back. It is about honoring what served you and releasing it. These are the 3 undeniable signs that your old self is dissolving. Phantom life, acting in a world you no longer inhabit. Immunity to old triggers. Your reactions no longer match your past programming. Strange mourning, grieving a self that has already departed. Recognize these as proof of transformation, not failure. They are quantum fingerprints left by your higher self to guide you through the chrysalis. Comment below. Which of these 3 death markers are you feeling most intensely right now? The phantom life, the immunity to old triggers, or the strange mourning? You are not alone in this portal. Now it's time to move from observation to conscious participation. This is the death ceremony, the moment you stop witnessing and start honoring the dissolution of your old self. If it's safe for you, close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in and exhale fully, releasing the day, the noise, the need to understand more than you already do. Be here in this sacred moment. In your mind's eye, visualize your old self, the version that is dying. Don't just see their face or their clothing. See the architecture of their identity. See their energy, their fears etched into their posture, the invisible walls they built to protect themselves, the dreams they compromised, the truths they swallowed to keep the peace. See the wounds they carried, the betrayals, the heartbreaks, the moments that taught them to shrink and apologize for their existence. Now thank them, out loud or silently speak to them. Thank you for carrying me this far. Thank you for every battle, every tear, every choice that led me to this moment. Your service is complete. Your tour of duty is over. I honor you. I release you and I love you. Watch what happens next. The old version of you begins to shimmer. A soft golden light glows from within, spreading through their entire being. They are not being destroyed. They are being released from duty. Their energy begins to dissolve into millions of shimmering particles of golden light. Fears, limitations, and wounds evaporate, returning to pure energy. The decades of struggle of carrying so much dissolve into the universe. Breathe as you witness the final particle of light fade away. Notice the empty space where they once stood. This is the void. This is the quantum soup, the chrysalis. Sit in it. Feel the silence. Feel the emptiness. Do not rush to fill it with plans, goals, or a new identity. This void is not nothing. It is everything. Infinite potential. The fertile darkness from which your next self will crystallize. This is the womb. This is the chrysalis, the most powerful state you can occupy. Take one more deep breath into this sacred emptiness. Slowly begin to bring your awareness back to your body. Feel the chair beneath you. Hear the sounds around you. When you're ready, open your eyes. Now ask yourself, which part of my old identity am I still clinging to out of fear, not love? Name it. You have performed a sacred act. You have consciously participated in your own death. By doing so, your rebirth will not be accidental. It will be deliberate and aligned. You are no longer someone whose life is falling apart. You are a transition guardian, the conscious steward of your own metamorphosis. Every choice from this moment forward either honors the sacred death you've completed or risks desecrating it. Your new role is to protect the void, guard the sacred emptiness, and allow what is truly new to emerge. Now that you've honored the death, it's time to navigate the dissolution phase with conscious awareness. This is where most people struggle. They feel the collapse, witness the void, but don't have a map. These protocols will guide you. 1. The Non-Resuscitation Pact. This is a binding agreement with yourself. You will not attempt to revive what is dying. You will not call back the old friend, try to reclaim the old job, or repair the relationships that no longer serve you. When panic rises, when the desperate urge to get back to normal strikes, recognize it as ego resistance, the last reflex of the old self. Do not act. Do not perform CPR on a timeline that has flatlined. You simply breathe through it. Observe. Let it pass. This is not cruelty. It is the highest form of self-compassion. Allow the dead to remain dead so your new self can emerge unhindered. 2. The Identity Inventory. For the next 7 days, carry a notebook or use a notes app. Your task: document every moment you define yourself by the old identity. Every I am, that reflects the past. I am anxious. I am unlucky with money. I always get hurt. Every I always or I never thought. I always fail, I never fit in. Do not judge, do not fight. Simply observe. Like a scientist watching a decommissioned satellite flicker, you are bringing old code into the light. Awareness alone completes its dissolution. Choose one symbolic behavior from your old life to ceremonially end today. It can be small but powerful. The way you check your phone first thing in the morning. The recurring complaint you make about your family. The route you take home from work. Do it differently today. This is your first act as a transition guardian. 3. The void tolerance practice. This may be the most difficult protocol, but it's also the most crucial. Set aside 10 minutes each day to sit in emptiness. Do nothing. Your mind will scream for plans, goals, distractions, or a new identity. It will want to fill the carefully created void. Your practice is to decline gently. The new you cannot crystallize if you keep agitating the soup by forcing the old self back into form. You must tolerate the profound discomfort of being nothing for a while. This emptiness is not a sign of failure. It is the womb of your next reality. Your ability to exist peacefully in this state of pure potential will determine the magnitude of your rebirth. These 3 protocols, the Non-Resuscitation Pact, the Identity Inventory, and the Void Tolerance Practice, are your daily guide through the Chrysalis phase. You will still show up in your old world. You will go to work, pay your bills, fulfill obligations, but you will not reinvest your identity. You are a professional actor finishing a contract. You perform with excellence, but you know the stage is no longer yours. Your body exists in the old reality, but your consciousness is already building the new one. You've completed the death ceremony. You've honored the dissolution. Now comes the most critical phase, the 72-hour window after the death protocol. This is when the quantum soup of your potential begins to crystallize into a new form. For 3 days, your energetic structure is like wet cement. Your identity is hypermalleable, your timeline fluid. The system is searching desperately for a new blueprint. If you get this wrong, you will default to an upgraded version of your old self. A slightly more aware, slightly more healed caterpillar, but still a caterpillar. This is the final test. The system will instinctively latch onto the most familiar energetic pattern, the ghost of who you used to be. This is cosmic sabotage. The pressure of transition can trick you into rebuilding the very structure you just dissolved. To succeed, you must master 2 things. 1. The death. You've already done this. You've sat in the void, witnessed the dissolution, and honored the old self. 2. The rebirth. You now need a conscious protocol to ensure your new identity crystallizes around your future self, not your past. During this 72-hour window, your role is that of the transition guardian. You are the aware witness, the conscious steward of the chrysalis. Every choice you make either supports the formation of your new self or risks reconstructing old patterns. Do not panic. Do not rush. The emptiness may feel too vast, the freedom too unstructured. Resist the temptation to fill it with familiar patterns. This is your opportunity to anchor the next version of you. If you follow the protocols of conscious observation, non-resuscitation, identity inventory, and void tolerance, you will lock in a new frequency. Your timeline will begin to stabilize around the highest expression of your potential. Remember, navigating death is only half the equation. Mastering rebirth is what determines whether you transcend or recycle. Sit with the void. Protect the sacred emptiness. Guard the potential. This is where your future self is being written. You have now witnessed the death, honored the dissolution, and assumed the role of the transition guardian. Your old life didn't fall apart. It was carefully deconstructed by an intelligence that loves you enough to remove what no longer serves you. This was not chaos. This was grace in disguise. You did not fail. You are graduating. The death is complete. Now comes the resurrection. The next step is crystallizing your new self. The 72-hour window has passed or is underway. Your energetic structure is malleable, your timeline fluid. How you navigate this moment determines whether you truly transcend or simply upgrade your old cage. After your identity stabilizes, the final frontier is timeline weaving. Using your new frequency, you can consciously select and stabilize the reality you desire, not through manifestation tricks, but through energetic resonance. The life you step into will match the vibration of your consciousness, fully aligned with who you've become. Remember, every choice now is a sacred act. Every thought, every interaction, every decision either honors the death you've completed or attempts to resurrect what must remain dead. Guard the void. Protect the emptiness. Cultivate the space where your next self can grow without interference. Your old identity has served its purpose. It carried you through certain chapters. Now it is gone, and its energy is being recycled to fuel what comes next. You are not the dying, you are the death itself. And because you are the death, you are also inevitably the resurrection. What you experienced recently, the upheaval, the loss, the fear, was not a mistake or punishment. It was a strategic demolition by your higher self, removing the last obstacles to your quantum leap. You now have the tools to navigate. The non-resuscitation pact, let the old self remain dead. The identity inventory, observe and dissolve old patterns. The void tolerance practice, sit in emptiness, allow the new self to crystallize. The transition guardian mindset, consciously steward your metamorphosis. From this point forward, you are no longer a victim of collapse. You are a master of transformation, a conscious participant in your own evolution. You have moved from terror to sacred witnessing, from caterpillar to soup, and now stand as the chrysalis, the silent, intelligent container holding both the memory of death and the promise of birth. Your next chapter awaits. Guard it, honor it, and step into it fully. The life you are building is not an accident. It is the conscious creation of the future self you've been preparing to become. Welcome to your resurrection. Ready to manifest effortlessly? Subscribe now and join our Quantum Manifest community, where we stop chasing reality and start resonating with it.